Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Triple Threat Comics YouTube channel. I'm your host, Ian Miller. Tonight, I'm welcomed a very classy lady, writer creator of tonight's subject. Please welcome. I apologize for the pronunciation of your last name,
Can
Laurie Calcaterra. I'm sorry,
close. It's close. Calcaterra.
Calcaterra. Thank you.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I didn't know this, but there's an Eagles player, number 81, whose last name is Calcaterra. So we were
Okay.
watching the Super Bowl last night, and I was like, "What the heck?"
Oh my!
Obviously, we're not related.
No, because otherwise I would have said, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Like obviously, I would have known if one of my family members was playing in the Super Bowl, but nope, not related.
Well, Lori, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Oh, of course, of course. All right, so we're going to talk about your comic. I'm very excited to talk about it. It's Path of the Pale Rider.
Yes.
So, obviously, with new guests on the show, I ask pretty much how you got started in comics and also talk about your project. So, why don't we get started on that?
All right, so here's my origin story. It's different because I never really read comics as a kid. My origin story starts with martial arts. I
Ooh,
started practicing martial arts in 1997, and I practiced Filipino and Indonesian martial arts, pencak silat, kali, dose pares, arnis, etc., etc. And in 2017, hey Lou, I was choreographing fight scenes for a production company in Detroit called Coattail Collective. And so I was managing a fight team. I had myself and two other very high level martial artists, and we just knew a ton of people. So the production company was like, hey, this scene was going to call for someone that wants to fight like Bruce Lee. Do you know anybody? So we would bring someone that knew like Kung Fu or Wing Chun. We brought in people that knew jujitsu. We brought in people that knew how to street fight, like weapons. So that's kind of where I started because I was then writing for this production company. They're like, we like what you do. Can you also, write maybe some short form web content for us? And so I wrote a series called The Agency, which is like it's heavy action, it's spy versus spy and twists and turns. And we actually had filmed the pilot in 2018. And then my family relocated from Michigan to Texas. So that
wow.
all kind of fell apart. So nothing really happened with that. But in the meantime, I got bit with that writing bug, and I had come up with the idea of Path of the Pale Rider as a full-length movie back in 2018. And I wrote it as structured as a full-length movie. So it has an act 1, an act 2, and an act 3. Um, Sat on it for a couple years just doing rewrites and telling people, close friends, like, I have this crazy idea for a story. And someone at some point was like, what are you going to do with this? It's too good to just sit on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was being told pitch it to Netflix. I had talked to some other of my friends that were in the business, and they same things, pitch it to Netflix. Well, how do you do that? Right. So what I found out through research is that you have to have a literary agent, one that specifically can work with Netflix because they won't work with you directly. Then
Mm.
I found out that Netflix will buy the rights to your property in entirety. So they can rewrite it, they can rename it, they can bring in ghostwriters, they can shelve that puppy. And then guess what? You can't do anything with it either. So that was a big turn off to me. And of course, like here I am, a brand new writer, and what am I going to bring to the table? They must get hundreds of scripts a day. They're going to look at me and be like, get out of here, kid. You know what I mean? I don't have
Yeah.
an audience to bring with me. Right. And we were just talking about like, you got to have that audience already, butts committed to those seats for them to even look at you.
Exactly.
So I just was stuck. I didn't know what to do. My husband is a comic book reader. And at one point, I don't know, this had to be like a year into it already. He read the script and he was like, Lori, this is a comic book. He's like, make it yourself. He's like, and he was much more familiar with Kickstarter. He was backing like tabletop games, but he had seen comics on there and like Berserker and right.
Yeah.
So he was like, why don't you figure out how to do that yourself? And so I did. We started turning it into it. I was doing a lot of research in 2019. I had found an artist named David Rodriguez in 2020, and we had started producing Path of the Pale Rider as a comic book. But of course, in 2020, that was January, February, March, 2 months into it, of course, pandemic hit, and it just everything fell apart. I had brought in a second artist. Kidding. Woo, here I am. I had brought in a second artist to kind of help, and it was just like it was doomed, Ian. It was like one had COVID, the other one, the roof collapsed in their apartment. That guy got over COVID, the other guy caught COVID, and then this guy, a tree fell on his house, and then there was a shooting close to like it was cursed. It was cursed. And so at some point I was just like, we're just gonna stop. I felt like we were kicking a dead horse. For those of you that get that joke. And it was like that's something else, Lou. But at that point we took a break. So from 2020 until about, I would say, all of 2021, I didn't do anything. I listened, I was patient, and I was like, if the right artist is out there, I'll find them. But if it's not meant to be, then I'm just not going to keep throwing money at different artists for it to just fall apart again. Right. And so it was January of 2022. I met Marco DeFio on social media. It was in a group called like Connecting Comic Book Writers and Artists. He had posted his portfolio. I approached him, with the idea of my script, and he drew a picture, just a bio of Jude St. Clair. Lou gets that joke, so she understood that. And I was just like, I'm sold. I'm in. Let's make this a real thing. And so off we started. We kickstarted March to April of 2022 and blew our first Kickstarter out of the water. And it's just been going since. We've produced, this is our 6th issue. We also have a trade paperback for issues 1 through 4 that is published through ASAP Imagination. They're in the UK. So my books are actually like in bookstores in Glasgow, which is amazing. We're working on the US market, so we got to get them on the shelves at Barnes and Noble. That's the goal. But they don't take the floppies, Ian. They only take the trades.
Yeah.
So, but we're growing. So that's it. Like, that's my story. Martial arts, everything burns down. I predicted the apocalypse, and then here we are. Your typical origin story.
Oh yeah, typical, very typical. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I was already starting to draw the panels throughout your entire story. If I'm being honest, I was actually drawing the panels.
Yeah, that's
like,
funny.
okay, I can do this, I can do that.
I could do this.
Yeah.
I can. Yeah. Hey, hi, John Westoff. How are you?
Well, let me ask you this question. When you do write the scripts, do you use your martial arts training to choreograph the fight scenes?
What's funny? Yes, late night coffee. That's what we're doing tonight, John Westoff. So some of the fight scenes, when I was more active in martial arts, when I was teaching at a school in Prosper at the time, I got some of my martial art buddies to actually act out the saloon brawl in issue number 2. We did the whole thing and we recorded it. So that was a lot of fun because we just handed that to my artist and said, here's the fight scene. However, it doesn't always work good for comics because it's like, it looks good on the screen, but really it's like, it's a 1-page fight and you got to pick the most, the big moves, you know what I mean? The Spartan kicks, the most, dramatic punches, stuff like that. But yeah, I write these big elaborate fights and then we have to show like 4 moves of the fight because that's all that's going to fit on the page. We can't have 12 pages of fighting, Laurie. Okay, I guess not.
Well, you could, but it wouldn't be that great of storytelling.
Right. It'd be super cool for me and anybody else who really likes fight scenes. Everybody else who would have, if it was TikTok, they would have scrolled by then. They're like, next. So, but yeah.
It is what it is.
But we do have some really elaborate fights. I'm going to see what I can do to maintain as much badassery in those fights as possible. But again, it's 2D medium. We do what we can do.
Yeah. The reason why I ask is that it's fascinating to me that you have the martial arts training.
Uh-huh.
I always figured, if you had that type of, inner knowledge, you can always translate that obviously to the scripts.
It does. Um, but sometimes it's like, okay, I understand artist terms, right? So my artist and I can communicate about um the composition. What are you talking about, Jen Westhoff? Like how we can't Frank Miller did 40 pages of fight scenes and hard-boiled eggs. Okay.
He's right. He's right.
I mean, if you guys want to pay for that, I'll do it. Don't tempt me. I can write a fight scene. In fact, the saloon brawl, hard boiled, I know what you meant.
Yeah.
The saloon brawl in issue number 2 was much more elaborate. And I think I have the footage somewhere of myself, and it was like a jujitsu instructor acting it out. Yeah, thank you, John. He's like, here's my money. So that would be fun to go back and add some more fights. I'm just saying. So the problem is when I'm describing the fights in my script, I'm using technical terms like this person backhand speed punches and then does a, forearm parry and then a pass and then, this is where the knife penetrates and da-da-da. And my artist is like, I don't know any of this. That's why we recorded it, right? So I was like, this is the fight. This is how I want, even like these are the shots that I recommend you use, the camera angles. But again, it's like that would add another 10 pages to the comic, and you just can't do that for time. So, and money.
Yeah. But it seems like people want that. So just.
Well, John does. Maybe I'll make a special copy just for John with my, I'll draw it for you, John, with stick figures. Special edition stick figure hand drawn by Laurie Calcaterra. There you go.
Hey, that'll be a collector's item. That'll be a big collector's item.
Yeah. Path of the Pale Fighters special edition. Stick figures included. That's right, Lou.
Okay. All right. So this is a great origin story. Let's go to the Kickstarter.
Let's do it. I added new things today for everybody who's watching. Oh, you got to answer that question whether you want all the cookies and Easter eggs and blah, blah, blah. Why do they ask that like every time I sign in too? And I'm like, for real? Like I've been in this site 4,000 times. You got to ask every time.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you got 18 days to go. You've already, been fully funded. You're just breaking the stretch goals now.
Yes. We got some good ones coming. We are $60 away from breaking a stretch goal where we get holographic Big Boy James stickers. I don't know if you saw those where it's like the little Big Boy figurine with the hamburger, but it's my bear Big James. And of course the hamburger has an eyeball in it because there's a running joke with that. So we're close. Looking for backer number 90 to help us get there.
Well, let's hope we deliver it for you.
Yeah. What do you think about this cover, Ian?
First off, I love it. It says a lot already in there without actually saying it.
Right?
Yeah, it looks spectacular. Just the way, the mirror images, obviously from, the real person to his reflection. Oh.
And now in our story, all the characters wear these circle things that are called a disc. And when you're alive, it shows your heartbeat and it turns green. And then, of course, in the story, it will beat like it has a speaker on it so you can hear the heartbeat. When it's activated and it's lit up, you can hear the heartbeat. But if you look in his reflection, I know it's a red pool of blood, but when you're undead, it turns red and it flatlines. So if you look at this small thing that Gilbert put in there, this is an undead Jude in the reflection.
Wow.
Even his face is undead. And so, but the thing is, if you look at the picture, whose blood is that?
Yeah, that's the question. It's not his.
Right? So I don't know. There's just a lot going on that Gilbert put there. Obviously, someone is standing over Jude, making him look small. He's feeling defeated. He's feeling small in this moment. So I love that Gilbert is one of those artists that will put meaning into the cover. And so when you look at the cover and then you read the issue and then you go back and look at the cover, you'll understand kind of the emotion and the secret message that he's trying to tell you with this image. It's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm already loving the Easter eggs.
We got a lot. Welcome to the right place.
Yeah. Now, obviously, these are the inspirations behind this creation.
Kind of. I mean, I'm fans of all of these things, but Cocaine Bear came out after we were already published. So Big James predates Cocaine Bear, just so everybody knows. Again, we wrote this in 2018. I was already playing Fallout. I've been watching Westerns with my dad since I was little. Walking Dead, of course, came out with Image. We were reading that comic and then watching the show as adults, and then Cocaine Bear. But we're all of those things and none of those things, because our undead are different than the typical zombie genre. And that's kind of what sets us apart and makes us interesting, because it's not zombieism. They're not trying to eat you or consume your brain. It's death is broken. People and animals and insects and fish, they're all undead, but they're still themselves until they rot so much where they lose, like for people, they lose their memories, or they can become violent or forgetful or detached. It's like having dementia in fast forward and your body is rotting. So it's a very complicated place when you think about it. And this is what I was talking about with zombie ethics. We address things like, once you're undead, can you own property? Can you drive? Can you own fire? Can you vote? How far do your rights go? When do you become dangerous? Because in the beginning, you might not be. You might never be. You might become a vegetable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you could also fall down the steps, hit your head, and become violent at any point in time. We have this ever-growing population of chaotic people that we don't know how they're going to act from day to day. And then animals are, what are we going to eat? Because you can slaughter a cow, but you can't butcher it. It's still animate. And even if you were able to grind it up into ground beef, Ian, would you eat that hamburger if it was still moving?
Absolutely not.
Right. So everybody's like, oh, we'll just become vegetarians. Well, guess what? Your pesticides don't work either. So now we have a major food shortage. We have unrest in the streets. We have overpopulation. And you have hungry people. It's a bad combination. Things go south pretty quickly. Or should I say west? Because that's another inside joke. It's in the story when Jude St. Clair asks for directions. He's like, I'm looking for Dwayne. I'm looking for Santa Claus. I'm looking for this. And everybody they give him the same answer. Like, just go west, man. He's so confused. Like, did we lose the ability to give directions when the apocalypse hit? I don't understand. Like, it's so funny. They're just like, go west. It's cool, Big James, isn't it? That's done by David Rodriguez, the original artist on the series. We have a 60-page choose your own adventure book that's kind of an addition to the comic book series. And he did the illustrations inside of it. Not every page is illustrated, but the ones that are all have beautiful images like this from David Rodriguez.
Wow.
So
the line art is spectacular, and just the imagery alone. Yeah.
I know. I want a tattoo. My husband will let me. He's like, no. I'm like, come on. There's a few that David did that I would really like as a tattoo. I keep putting them as stretch goals. I'm like, if we get to 8,000, I'll get a tattoo. Haven't gotten there yet. So I put that there too. Like, not everybody wants to read stuff on the page. They just look at the pictures. But if you just want to, that's me telling you the elevator pitch I just gave. So we don't have to listen to it. But here's a quick look at the interiors of issue number 6. So, and At the end of 5, Jude and Dwayne Fink had just escaped Santa Claus that was burning to the ground because of flaming swarm of blister beetles.
Wow.
And they survived, but of course, Jude got kicked in the face and was knocked unconscious. There's a message at the end of 5 that says, El acampamento cadaver te espero, excuse me. So I said it wrong. But anyway, my point is what if you translate to English is Camp Cadaver is waiting for you. And so here they are. This is Camp Cadaver. Obviously, it is inhabited by the living impaired. And we get to
Wow.
meet this guy, Miguel Blanco, who is not to be trifled with. The lady that is kneeling before him is wearing the uniform of a collector. That's the police force in this world that collects the undead. They remove them from living society and they take them to the undead retirement community, which has propaganda. So there's commercials you can see. It's like white picket fences and happiness and, don't you wish you were here to live out your undead years? But no one has ever seen it. No one really knows what it is. Probably not that, right? And so
No.
here he is grilling her about something. Doesn't like her answer and takes her out.
Wow.
Yep. No hesitation from that man.
Well, this is just a This is now just become a world where there are no rules. There's no, there's no holding back. You know what I mean?
No. There never has been with this series. I mean, we start issue 1 with a giant undead bear. That was where we started, and it just keeps escalating. It's like that was one bear, and then we had, a saloon brawl, and then we have, in issue 2 was more like what the living do to the living. Issue 3 and 4, we jump back in time. You get to see the day that Death went missing. And issue 3 is the one that Lou was referring to, that really looks like the pandemic. It's bizarre. It freaks me out when I read it, where I'm like, I wrote so many things that, came to fruition in 2020. I wrote that the apocalypse started on March 5th, 2020. So it's spooky at times, the things that you're going to read and how they correlate to where we are now and what's going on now.
Yeah.
But this guy, he gives no Fs. He's like, clean her up, get her out of here. So here's just a GIF of issues 1 through 5, so you can see some of the interiors of where we've come from. There's a saloon brawl. I love it. There's Dwayne Fink. He was peeing next to Jude's head. Issue 3. It's like the day Death went missing, and it's funny and gross. It's funny and gross. Makes me giggle.
Well, that's the thing, I'm always fascinated by horror stories where you laugh and you get scared. You laugh and you get scared.
Yeah. I don't think we're so much scary. We're more just gross and tragic. There's some very tragic moments in the story. There really is. Lots of body horror. Here's issue 5. Anyway.
Wow.
And the blister beetles. Dun, 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 dun.
I like it already.
Thank you. Yeah. We have fun. And then here is what I added today. So, Gilbert and I met in, I want to say 2023 at Comic-Con, and I was still working with Marco. Gilbert was looking for cover work, and I had already had all my covers in. So he had purchased some sketch covers from me, and then I asked him to do a pinup. I have Lola pinups that Gilbert did, and that's kind of how I saw his talent right there. And then ended up hiring him after Marco got so busy that he had other projects on the line that he had to make a priority. So, but Gilbert is making some of these sketch covers that he has done available. So this is a sketch cover on issue number 4. If you look at the bottom, it says Calcaterra de Fio Chambers. Doesn't even say Perez on there because he wasn't an artist yet. But this is so cool. It's a Spider-Man Jude on a Venom Prince. And even his disc has the little Spider-Man symbol on it. Like, if I had $1 million, I would just buy all the art that Gilbert made, for real.
Yeah,
But these are
spectacular.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
It's just, it combines so many cool things. And it's original artwork. So you're getting the actual, not a print of this, you're getting the actual issue number 4 with the art on it. So that's available in the add-ons if you choose. And we have 2 issue number 5 sketch covers as well. So Jude, Big James. I love how the smoke is coming from his gun, and he's just very good, bad, and the ugly poncho, and Big James with a bullet hole in his head. It's great.
Man.
Right?
Ooh, this one's nice.
Yeah. Half dead Jude. And then his smoking gun with his name on it. And it's like, he loves drawing Path. You can tell he loves drawing Path because of the stuff that he comes up with on his own. None of this was prompted by myself. He loves these characters. So he told me he was working on one with Lola and Sad Pancake, and I can't wait to see. I might buy that one myself before I put it up. Sorry, guys, mine. So, but those 3 I put up today, they are in the add-ons. So if you are interested in getting some original art from Gilbert Perez, last campaign we put the pencils and inks from the cover, and they were quite a bit more. It was like $450. These are like $150 to $200. So it's a great price point to get original art. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And most of those funds do go directly to Gilbert. It's not, I'm not keeping those. That's his artwork that we're paying him for. Couple cool variant covers. This is William Russell. He and I are working together on a couple projects. So he does variant covers for me on Path, and I am currently writing the issues of Psycho Cell for him. Just finished issue number 8, which will be on Kickstarter, I think, on the 14th he's launching, I think.
Wow.
So that's coming up. But he loves zombies. I love zombies. He loves Big James. I love Big James. We threw him in the desert. And the cool little Easter egg on this one is that zombie in the front is the emblem on his shirt is one of the hot sauce labels. He's wearing a hot sauce shirt. I was like, yes, that's so cool. And who wouldn't love Sad Pancake? Everybody loves Sad Pancake, right?
Yeah, this is fantastic as well.
This is DJ Hall. I also met him at a Cowtown. He was next to me and had this beautiful cover of an angry Chihuahua. And I was like, oh, look at this. I was like, I have an idea for you. Hear me out. Like, we have this undead dog, which was an accident, mind you. Gilbert, for some reason, drew a puppy into issue 5. And I was like, Gilbert, shoot the puppy. And he was like, what?
Oh my Lord.
Oh, that's a good story. So Sad Pancake was born. The fandom actually named this dog. I put a poll up in our group and I asked them to name the dog, and they did not disappoint. Sad Pancake's a great name.
It is.
Right?
I just I think for future, I think maybe you should create some one of those plushies,
You're not the first person to suggest that, actually.
I'm glad I'm not the first person to suggest it. I'm very glad of that.
Yeah, I make these pillow plushies. My friend Carissa Grant made me do it. It's not my fault. But this is, of course, the Big James one. And so we do these with our trade paperbacks. And so when we get to our next trade, I will do another pillow plushie, but we could do Sad Pancake. That's an idea. We have sketch covers. We do have a tier where you could get a sketch cover of issue number 6 with original art from Gilbert Perez. You can pick one Path of the Pale Rider character, tell him who you want on the cover, and he will draw it for you.
Wow.
Right. So you could get the sketch blank, or you could get art on it, whichever you prefer.
Oh, the shirts. Oh,
Dante's Inferno, you better knock it off. Yes, I make these myself, which is a problem. Yeah, go back downstairs, sir. Which is a problem because I keep coming up with all these new ideas, and now we have like 35 shirts. But I love them. I don't know about 35. I think I have. I think I do have 20 though. Between the shirts and the hoodies, I think I have 20, and I have more designs that we haven't made yet. And this is the new hoodie. That's the Big James, Big Boy James. This one is a great one. This one's new. Only myself and my editor have that one. This one's new. That one's new. That's the Santa Claus tree. The Vicious Big James. Gosh, we got lots of stuff. Hi, Pops.
oh my God.
We have a 2-cover combo. I did this last campaign. I don't think I talked about it enough, but this is great. So if like you can mix and match in here. You can get all the covers except for the one with the original art or the wooden cover. Everything else qualifies for this. You could get like a Gilbert A cover and the William Russell B cover. You can get the B and C cover. You can get a William Russell cover and a sketch cover. Any combination you choose. So it's only an extra $5 because it's usually one cover plus the PDF is $15. So throw on a whole nother book for just $5 is a pretty good deal.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
I know I have a problem, Ian.
No, this is a great idea.
Yeah?
Yes.
Well, I think so. So the way that these work, every campaign we premiere a new design, a new character, and then the one that we premiered last campaign, we open up for I think 5 pledges. Hi, Dustin. So the newest one that's not pictured because we haven't made it yet is Jimmy, the character of Jimmy. And then the one we open for 5 is Francis St. Clair. He has some holes in him based off of what he did to himself. But he looks great. I love it. So I think there's 2 spots left for that guy, and the Jimmy is gone. That's usually one of the first tiers that goes is the new Funko Pop. So
Wow.
Got to get there quick for that one.
Absolutely.
Secret rewards. These are whatever. I feel like they're usually a little warped. They could be artistic. They could be creative. I 3D print stuff sometimes. The first year I did these, it was a glass bottle of Ashes and Bones. Yeah,
Nice.
that I sent to the backers. I handcrafted a wooden box with a poem on it. But it was basically the idea that since death is broken, you're still here, even if you're a pile of ashes and bones. And it's like if you put a seashell to your ear, you hear the ocean. What do you hear when you put a bottle of ashes and bones to your ear? Do you hear the voices of the damned?
Wow.
So I sent a few of those out. But I've 3D printed like Big James. I made working discs. So I 3D printed, and those are wired. They have electronics, so they light up. I sent everybody last campaign that got secret rewards. It was a wooden keychain that was engraved with sterling silver, and it was a bear laser engraved. I think it was the constellation of a bear as well. That was inlaid with sterling silver. So I spend time on these, but I'm never going to tell you what they are. They change in price just depending on what I'm doing. So good luck if you want to cut on that one. This next one, I think I had to limit to 4. because I'm 3D printing it and it's pretty elaborate. So I limited it only to 4 because I don't want to be 3D printing for 17 years.
No, 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 no. Good Lord, no. That would be tough.
Right. And I'm like, I don't want to 3D print anymore. Wooden covers. So this is another cover option. These are 3D printed. Keep this campaign open for me. Well, Dustin, it doesn't take the money until we close. So got to make sure you can get in there now, but it won't take your money until we close on the 28th.
So please hurry.
Yeah, I mean, you could back anytime. I would love it if you were backer number 90, Dustin. You would make my day. I might even send you something extra. But I love making these wooden covers. They're super cool. We did metal covers for the first 4, and we moved into wooden covers for the next 4. I love them. They're cool.
Oh, yeah. They come out great.
Thanks.
Puzzles. Ooh. This is something I have not seen before. I like this.
Yeah. 120-piece puzzle. One of my backers, his name is James. He loves anything Big James related. And so he always casually throws ideas at me, or he's like, "Yeah, I really like this puzzle you did of Lola. I would really like a puzzle of Big James." Here you go. And but he's true to his word. Like, if I make stuff that he wants, he gets it. So, but these are fun.
That's good to know.
Yeah. The Lola puzzle has a secret message on the back. So if you put it together and flip it over, there's something to read on the back of the puzzle.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. We do fun stuff like that. Thanks, Dustin. So here's our Choose Your Own Path, which is the Choose Your Own Adventure book. And like I said, it's a good addition. So if you're getting caught up and you're spending big bucks, like maybe this is not the time, but like maybe next campaign when you're all caught up, it's great to just add it on because you get to put on the hat and boots and you get to walk around the apocalyptic West and make decisions. You run bounties. I kill you off in the most fantastic and gruesome ways. It's great. But it's awesome, Ian, because you just go back. It tells you what page and you just run it again until you win. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
And this is fantastic because I used to read these as a kid, so yes. I love this.
Hey, man, you could go all in, get them all. Get the whole package. But I highly recommend this because there's characters that you meet in Choose Your Own Path that show up later in the main story.
Ooh.
And so like when you play this, if you like do the bounty with the Skinner is in the story later. So you will understand what a gruesome and terrible character this is. And then when Jude St. Clair runs into him, you're going to be like, just freaking don't talk, just run away. You know what I mean? But Jude doesn't know. So you're going to be screaming. It's like being in the horror movie, like, don't go down the stairs, Jude. But he's going to do it anyway because he doesn't know better. So
oh, man,
that's fun. I like doing stuff.
Yeah.
This gone. I should put a thing on it that says it's claimed.
Oh.
I make things. So I make ceramic mugs. I'm actually going on Friday. I'm going to make another one, but I won't put it up until next campaign. And then I rebind books. Ooh. So that's just a picture of a book that I have done. I'm going to be rebinding Jurassic Park. Unfortunately, it is also claimed. Ian, it was one of those, like, there's another thing that's very pretty exclusive, but like the mug went, the book went, and then the new hot sauce flavor, I had 6 bottles. 15 minutes, they were all gone. They were all claimed. And I was like, okay. So it was funny because on the day after, I was like, I'm going to make a video showing off the exclusives that people can go get. But I didn't have anything to because they're already all gone. So I was like, here's what you can still get. And that's why I'm like, hey, Gilbert, can we put your sketch covers up? Like, we need more exclusive things, original things, unique things, because that's what people want.
That worked.
Right? This is something new for me. Swag bags. It's a random random group of merch. Because, like after you've run, this is my 7th campaign, if you're doing like stickers or buttons or, I have like Big James acrylic pins, I have a bunch of keychains. And a lot of times you're ordering these in bulk, right? So
Yeah.
if I'm sending out 84 boxes, but I order 100 of something, I have, 15 left. So I will put together a group of random merch. So you don't know what you're signing yourself up for, but you can get some random merch. I have trucker hats, baseball caps, and T-shirts. Depending on your size, I can send you those in the large swag bag because I have extras of those.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. That's a really bad GIF. Anyway, there's
Look.
Lola puzzles. Yeah, I got like canvas bags.
Wow.
I won't send you single bottles of hot sauce though in the swag bag. Sorry. But I do make hot sauce as well, Ian. I have a problem. So these are the 3 reoccurring flavors that I do. So there's Path of the Pale. Starting on the right is a ghost pepper barbecue, Path of the Pale sauce. The middle one is Meet Your Maker mango habanero. Those are both medium to medium hot. Nothing is like so hot it knocks your socks off. I don't like afterburn, if you know what I mean. I'm more about the flavor. And then the green sauce, that's Heartstop and jalapeno and serrano. And that one is mild, maybe a little bit medium. It just depends on when I make that one because sometimes the peppers are hotter in the summer.
Yeah.
So, but for the most part, it's pretty mild and I can put it on everything, which I do because it's delicious. So, but you can get that as a sampler pack. I have it as a sampler pack, or I have individual bottles as add-ons. And so you just tell me which one you want in the survey when you do that survey, if you get a single bottle, but they're all good. These are all gone. This is another one. Okay, so every campaign in our stretch goals, we do this thing called the slice and dice. And it's just something funny. I dress up as Pikachu and you guys get to vote on a name and a murder weapon for a big piece of fruit or a vegetable. Like, for example, we have done a watermelon or a pumpkin. We did a pineapple. And the last one we did was a jackfruit.
Ooh.
So the fans named this jackfruit Jack the Ripper, and they voted for me to murder this thing with a 2-handed axe. Well, I made hot sauce out of Jack the Ripper. So it's called Jack's Revenge because he gets to come back and burn you. So there's only 6 bottles. Unfortunately, they're all gone. I don't think any of those people are canceling. They're gunning for that sauce. So I might make it again. It's really good. I wasn't expecting it to be that good, but it's a pain in the ass to make. So I might make it every once in a while, maybe for Kickstarters only. But like when I go to Comic Cons and stuff, I'll take hot sauce with me and I can sell it at some cons, and probably not this one.
I love this. Good. I love this.
Isn't it funny? I don't know. We do fun stuff. Here we are at our stretch goals. So this is where we are now. We're breaking stretch goals, of course. So I have 2 different kinds. Backer numbers. So every 50 backers, we're building a poker deck together. So we started this a few campaigns ago. We've been unlocking cards. I forget how many at this point, maybe 8. And then we unlocked 1 poker card already, and we'll unlock another one at 100. Hopefully we can unlock a 3rd one. That would be great. But the cool thing is if you come back for every campaign, you get this entire poker deck for free.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And then there's a second deck. So here's the card we unlocked, the Ace of Spades.
Oh man.
This is one of my favorite ones, right, Lou? I know you love this one too, but
that's amazing.
Isn't that cool? Again, David Rodriguez knocking things out of the park. So we're close. We need 11 backers to flip over the next card. And it doesn't matter what kind of backer, physical, digital, doesn't matter. You could back $1 and that still counts as a backer. And then these are, of course, what the back of the cards look like. There is a black deck. So it's inverse, where it's a black background. She's in white, and then the red swooshes are the same. So
Wow.
there is the inverse as well. But I'm not going to release that until we finish the white deck. So we got a little ways to go for that, but that's okay. We got path for days.
Man.
And this is what I'm working on now. Like we need $60. $60 unlocks the next one of these. So we unlocked the indie PDF bundles. I have a bunch of bundles. I think I have up to 20 indie PDFs that have been donated by their creators. And so as we unlock more stretch goals, more of these bundles will unlock. They stack. So these are great because digital backers get this too. You know what I mean? I always feel bad where I'm like, here's this cool sticker. Here's this cool, we have temporary tattoos. We have, buttons and but it's like when you're a digital backer, you don't get any of that stuff, right? But you get these. That's why I think they're important, to include our digital backers in the stretch goals. So that, and of course, the slice and dice they can participate in as well. So I try to go back and forth. So stretch, that's unlocked. Here's what we unlock at 5,500. Everybody wants this. We'll get there. We just need to get there. But these are holographic stickers. These are there'll be 3-inch vinyl Big Boy James stickers. Say that 3 times fast.
I can't. I'm not even gonna try it.
So he'll be unlocking next. I guarantee it. And then, of course, after that is the slice and dice. I have to figure out what to slice this time. We've done all the big stuff. Maybe we do it again. But watermelon, pumpkin, pineapple, jackfruit. I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll have to find out.
Yeah. I'll figure it out. I'm open for suggestions. I really want to unlock these, the scratch and sniff sticker pack. That's right. So there's beer, barbecue sauce, and zombie flesh. And Ian, you want to know. Don't you?
Yes, I know. I do.
Yes.
Because I haven't seen these again as a kid. I didn't even know they made these anymore.
I go down some rabbit holes and I found this vendor that will scentify stickers. They print the stickers and then they will scentify them. They scentify brochures. I was like, I wonder if I could scentify a cover. I think I can. Or I can do scratch and sniff covers next campaign. You mark my words. I'm going to figure it out. But these, I really want to make these. I'm really excited. So we got to get to that 6,500. I think we'll do it. We're on track to do it, but come on, guys, we got to get there. If we break 7,000, we haven't broken 7,000 yet, but it could happen. I got temporary tattoos for y'all. Of course, we got this gorgeous big James that you can slap on your body. You can wear it for about a week. It's a thing. Show your POTPR support by wearing bloody bears.
Oh my
Good
Lord.
time. And now this is the first time I've talked about this on this campaign, but there is an 8-page short that I've written about Big James. So, the Path of the Pale Rider is told from Jude St. Clair's point of view. You get to see Big James a couple times. We could still see him in future issues, but this is an 8-pager that is it's Big James destruction, running through buildings, ripping people to shreds in the most devastating ways that bears can do. And now if we get to 8,000, I will release 2 pages of this 8-pager. But we got to get there. This is something cool. If you haven't seen us before, the back cover of every issue that I write is a riddle. And if you solve the riddle, it takes you to places in the real world. Like secret groups on Facebook, or something shows up in your mailbox from a character. I have hidden YouTube videos. I have hidden pages on my website. I have working phone numbers. There's a ton of stuff out there, and it's like you stumble upon Path of the Pale Rider like it's real. It's fun.
It
And
is
I do
fun.
all this stuff for free. It's not a stretch goal. It's not a thing to unlock. You should do this one, Ian. It is so much fun because it's not, you don't have to solve anything. It's not anything like you don't have to think, like the other one's in sign language. So you have to figure out what it's saying, and then you have to solve the riddle. This one, it's a scavenger hunt. You just scan all the QR codes. And I have stuff like trailers to zombie things like Train to Busan and Night of the Living Dead, trailers for Quick and the Dead or Tombstone, and Good, Bad, and the Ugly. I have silly things like the Swedish Chef making hot sauce and Rickroll, and I think there's a He-Man singing Four Non-Blondes, and it's just a walk through my brain of what I think is entertaining. So, but one of them is a video from Path of the Pale Rider. Like you stumbled upon a secret video. So
Wow.
it's cool. See if you can solve it. Challenge accepted. This is the latest one. This one is easier to solve than you think. I'm still waiting on that one person to stumble across this and tell me what they think. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I used to solve these puzzles when I was a kid as well.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I give you a big clue. It's a dusty mirror.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for the riddle for number 6. I have a friend working on the reward, and it'll knock, like, these are all cool, but this one's like the best. It's the best. So I can't wait to release that one. I also make short films. These are fan interactive. So if you want to be in a short film, when I put them together, I will put out a call to say like, hey, take a picture of yourself as a dead body. Hey, send me a video of you telling me what you think broke death. Or take a creepy selfie, and I'm going to put you through a bunch of photo filters and make you undead. So if you watch some of these, there's a ton of fans that are in these. And these are like, we explore topics that we just don't have time to explore in the book. Like, what are the conspiracy theories about what broke death? That first one, that's a commercial for the undead retirement community. One of them that's called Pine Fox. We have a call to action where the undead start fighting back because we keep taking away their rights and pushing them into boxes and disappearing them. At some point, they're just not going to take it anymore, right? Yeah. And then the last one, there's a fourth one that's a nuclear family, and it's like a day in the life of this family where that gentleman, the father, he dies in the first 2 minutes, and it's like him going through, decay and losing his memory and getting sundowning and doing things at night that he can't remember. And it's like there's a lien on the house because it was only in his name. So stuff like that. It's like it's stuff that's part of Path, but we just don't have time to focus on because we're with Jude, in the trenches. So, but these are fun. You get to be in them if you want. The next one I'm going to do is a vaccine commercial. I have to, I don't know, create time out of the space-time continuum, and then I can put that together. I'm not busy at all.
Well, about these short films is that you have made them interactive, which is great because again, you get the audience to being part of this universe that you created.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of reminds me of the first Independence Day movie when they started shooting all those promo shorts. That place in the movie.
Yeah, and Starship Troopers.
Yeah,
when they had all those commercials where they're like, I'm doing my part, you know what I mean? Like they're just doing the little like propaganda videos that were then in the movie. That's kind of what, inspires these, where it's just like, it's a little bit extra, but it's that world. And it's fun. If you want to see yourself as part of the world, this is your chance, And these are free, like I said. It's not like you have to pay to be a part of it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Here's our team. There is me. Bio. Moving on. There is Gilbert. Happy smiling Gilbert with his Spider-Man shirt. Such a cool guy. He does great work, you guys.
Man.
Yep. This is our colorist, Matt Chambers, who is super shy. This is the only picture I can ever get out of him ever. He won't come on screen anytime we do a live stream. I try to get him to come on. He won't come on. And then this is our editor, Rachel, who is the best. Really keeps us on track and helps make us look polished. So if anybody needs an editor for their project, I highly recommend Rachel. She's definitely made a difference in our path.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, this is the funds are what they're going towards.
Mm-hmm. Nitty gritty. It's mostly our production and printing and shipping, merch.
Yeah,
We pay fees. That's the standard. There's my publisher, ASAP Imagination. If you are international, I will ship to Canadian backers. You just need to contact me directly because what I do, I will put together what you're looking for. Like if you want 1 cover, 2 cover, you want a t-shirt, you want a hat, and I can weigh it all. And that way I'm giving you accurate shipping because shipping to Canada is like $25 right now. But I can't afford to undercharge you and I don't want to overcharge you either. So if you want to order physical stuff from Canada, I will ship to you. Just contact me directly. If you're somewhere else in the world, you can order a trade paperback from this website here and they will ship to anywhere in the world. So I have people that follow us digitally. And then when we get to the trade paperback, then they order, either from ASAP, you can get your physical copy that way. So I have fans in the Netherlands. I have fans in Spain. I have fans in the UK that get physical copies this way. It's the way to go.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. It helps when your publisher is international, and they're in the UK. So no AI used on this project. No fat fake bears. And that's it, my friends. That's it.
This is fantastic.
Whole shebang. There's a lot.
Yeah, you got 18 days to go. So, folks, get on this right away because you don't want to miss out on all this good stuff. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing about Kickstarters. You can pledge now. You can always add more stuff on later as we get closer when you know what your paycheck is going to look like. And, they don't take the funds out until the campaign closes, which will be the Friday, February 28th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's when it closes. So,
Well, there you go. So please go to Kickstarter or go to the link down below and pledge today.
Appreciate it. I would appreciate it. And it's like, as independent creators, Ian and I both are, campaign is the most important time for us. That's how we can continue making cool shit for you guys. Excuse my language. But, some people are like, I'll get it when you're printed. I'll pick it up from you, afterwards. And it's like, as much as I appreciate that, getting funded here and going as far as we can will help us budget out what we can and cannot do. You know what I mean? So It's important to back indie. That's where all the good stuff is. Hollywood is reboot, rehash, recycle nonsense. All the good stuff is here in indie. All of it. And I'll shut up now. I've been talking for 59 minutes straight.
No, but I love this project. I think it's gonna be I think it's a great project, and I wish you all the best success.
Thank you.
Really do.
Appreciate that.
Of course. And before we go, I'd like to obviously plug in my own stuff. As we know, folks, Valentine's Day is just right around the corner. So you have to figure out, what am I going to buy for that special someone?
Yeah.
Don't worry, I have the answer. Go to tpublic.com, type in Little Ian merch, and you could find my storefront.
Ooh.
That's right. These are all my
Cool.
designs. This character is Little Ian, and this is my codename Hunter stuff.
Cool.
But here is the Valentine's Day line. You get this cute little design in any color. The words with, "What do you think these flowers are for?" You.
Aw. Ooh, and a coupon. Even better.
Exactly.
Ooh, look at all the colors it comes in too.
Exactly. My heart belongs to
Nice.
you.
Very cool.
Will you be mine? And so on.
That's
Now you
cute.
can get this in t-shirts, coffee mugs, pillowcases. Actually, pillows, if I'm being honest. Phone cases, hoodies, and even even the long sleeve t-shirts. Oh, and the ball caps.
Oh, and the ball caps.
We also have some trucker caps as well.
Cool.
Yeah. And the last thing I have to show off is my own comic, Codename Hunter, which is available right now currently on indieblank.com. We do have a website. I just had to finish working on it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been
I hate
taking some time to do
websites.
that.
That's the
Yeah.
worst.
Yeah, because I had to do all that coding and all that.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So this is a sci-fi spy thriller. It's James Bond meets Star Trek meets Star Wars with a dash of Guardians of the Galaxy.
All things I like.
Yeah. We currently have issues 1 through 3 right now. You can buy it at a very reasonable price, print or
Yeah.
on digital. Yeah. This is issue 2, which is loading up right there. There you
Nice.
go. And this is issue 3. Now, I currently just finished the digital pencils of issue 4, handed over to my inker. We're going to be talking about what magic he's going to work on my pages, and then we're going to get back to you with a release date in issue 4. So stay tuned for that.
Oh, yes. When you know when you're going to launch, make sure you come on the Tuesday Morning Brew. I would love to talk to you more about your project.
Absolutely. Laurie, I can't thank you enough for coming on. It was such fun.
Thanks again for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I love ya.
Well said.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's going to be it for us tonight. I'm Ian Miller, and this has been Triple Threat Comics YouTube channel. Have a good night, folks.